Good morning, family and friends. How are you? I welcome you to this great day and also to this live broadcast. I encourage you once again to join me as we seek and spread knowledge. And I'm excited and I'm happy. One of the things that make me very happy is that when I shared a clip that a brother made, I think it's Enugu State in Nigeria. So with with a lady, and they were talking a lot of sense, but I was laughing out loud because I don't know that this thing is spreading like that, especially that girl. The stuff she was bringing up, I was very excited, and I'm happy that our people are waking up. And I will join them soon next month. I'm coming to Nigeria, and I'll be trying to be, coming broadcasting from my village. All right, so, and I hope I will do that. I hope I will get a good connection in my village to be transmitting from there. So I want to share with us this great day what I titled God is not there. God is not there. You believe, those of you that believe in God, okay? I don't believe in God. I am God. I know gods and goddesses. I know gods and goddesses exist and they can do the impossible in this world. But the invisible God, the Almighty God, the God of any religion, does not exist. But you that believe that God exists and is everywhere. You see, I exist, but I'm not everywhere. Gods and goddesses exist, but they are not everywhere. They are in their particular locations, everybody in their spot. So there's no one almighty God, there's no one almighty goddess. So all of them, they exist, but this God they gave to you in religion, in Christianity, in Islam, in Judaism, in Buddhism, in Hinduism, and all the religions, about 4,200 of them in the world. None of their God exists, and that's why you cannot see their God. You can see me, I am God. I can see you, you are God. I can invite you as God or goddess, and you appear on this screen right away, and we begin to communicate. No religious God can do that. Religious God is bullshit. Is something used to indoctrinate and brainwash people to make them morons, make them people that cannot think for themselves. So they believe God is there, why God is not there. They believe when they pray in God is there or God is listening, why God is not listening. The only person that is listening to you when you are praying is yourself and those people around. And when you are praying to yourself. You are the God that exists. You're supposed to know that when you say you are praying to a God in the sky, a God in heaven, you are pretending he is there. That's why prayer is pretense, a sheer waste of time. You are wasting your time praying for whatever reason. I have prayed all kinds of prayers, except the fake ones, like the ones you make people maybe follow or that. But when it comes to genuinely praying from your heart, believing that that God listens to you and speaks to you without you seeing it, I have done all that. Right? So when you are saying God is there, I ask you, where is God? You say you cannot see it. Or when you say God is in me, and I say, where is God? He said, I cannot see it except with eyes of faith or spiritual eyes. You are making yourself stupid. It's only a stupid person that will tell you God is somewhere. You say, show me God. He said, you cannot see that God is a spirit. If it's a spirit, then why are you talking to me? I am your fellow human being. You don't need to talk to me about any spirit. If their spirit exists, that spirit is supposed to come to me directly. I don't need anyone to tell me about spirits. I want you to tell me about my fellow human beings, about things I can use, things I can feel, things I can see, things I can touch, things I can demonstrate. You don't go to spiritual school to learn any spiritual things, right? There's no such thing as spiritual schools. You go to schools that people built. Physical school, you go there. I bet you become stupid when you say you are learning spiritual things in a school that your fellow human being built. You say it's a spiritual house of God. You are going there to learn about the spiritual things. No, that's nonsensical. You're supposed to know that there is no God, that there's no God in any church, there's no God in any religion, there's no God in any school. You are going there to acquire knowledge. That's why you go to school. So there, your fellow human being teaching you about the things of the spirit, you know, it does not make sense, because that means that spirit does not exist, but the imagine exists. They imagine that hearing the voice of that spirit. If that spirit exists, it will be speaking to all of you. How I wish you even understand the very Bible you are defending, or all these religious books. They tell you that that God exists, he speaks to people. So if that God exists and speaks to people, come on, let that God speak to you. Why are you living like animal? Why are you living like a stupid person? Somebody tell you anything, you just believe it without proofs. Somebody tell you, don't worry, he exists. You just believe. God is not there. And I will use the Bible and also the practical things that happen around us to keep trying to wake you up, you that are still, you know, in that nonsense called religion. So for you to get out of that valley of shadow of death, for you to get out of that dungeon of lies and deception, for you to get up and begin to live humanly. I live better now than ever before. I live better now that I don't have that silly God. I don't have that silly Jesus. I don't have that silly religion. I don't have that silly faith. I don't have that silly beliefs. I just have my brain. My brain is enough for me. His grace will only bring this grace to you. Try it and see. His grace will make you stink among men. His grace will make you a moron among men. Have you seen anyone that depends on the grace of God that has invented anything? No. The reason why the whole world, all the other parts of the world are inventing things, but Africans are not inventing in this time and age, is because Africans are living by faith and beliefs. They ignore facts. And they have everything to be greater than other parts of the world, but they chose, there's this imaginary God that can do all things for them, and this God is coming to save them, this God is coming to talk to them, this God is coming to do something for them. Come on, Africans, wake up. Religion, especially religion of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, they started in the Garden of Eden. So that's where you find the genesis of their God, or how their God operates. So God was not in the Garden of Eden, according to the Bible, when the serpent deceived the man God put in the garden. And as I've been saying it, any God that visits people is not omnipresent. A God that comes and goes is not omnipresent. If God is everywhere, there should be no record in any book that God was there, but something happened, God left. So God was not there. That's why the enemy struck and defeated them or carried them into captivity. That means that God is not ever present. But you will say, my God is omnipresent. Your God is not omnipresent. If your God is omnipresent, evil will not happen to you, whether it's natural disaster or made war or whatever somebody made up. No, you won't be suffering if your God is there, unless your God is the one that is making that evil. Especially you admit it, you say, oh, if it happened, God allow it. Will you allow evil to befall on your own children? On your own children? Will you allow anyone to even slap your own child before you? Tell me the truth. I tell my daughter, come on, don't let anyone bully you, and I cannot be around anyone bully my daughter. Excuse me? If you look at me, you won't. When my daughter say, man, whenever they see me, the children see me, they say, man, your dad is so. Because my voice alone, and I know those American kids, they hate somebody, I will yell. The way I yell, I met adults in America quiver when I yell, because I have that African deep voice. And I'm proud to have it, because I am African. In the Garden of Eden, God was absent. When they say the serpent spoke and deceived Adam and Eve, and God came back as a silly God it is, he began to say, Adam, Adam, where are you? That shows you that that God also is not omniscient. He don't know everything. He don't know where you are. You say God know where you are. God don't know anything. You cannot hide it from God. You may cover your sin. Nobody will know. You can. Everything is hidden from God. He don't know nothing. That's why he has to ask questions to know what is up. Say, Adam, Adam, where are you? I don't know where you are. Tell me. Oh, you are there. Okay, you are hiding under that fig tree. Okay, come out. Why are you hiding? God was not there, and God did not know where they were, where they was hiding. And again, for you to see, when they say what happened, when they said they were naked, what did God ask them? Who told you you were naked? In other words, God didn't even know what Satan said to them. But you say you pray in secret. You say, I don't want the devil to hear what I'm praying or people to hear. I just want God. God can't hear when they were talking in public. You think he will hear when you are talking in your heart? Prayer, no matter whether it's a spiritual prayer or physical prayer, whatever you call it, they are all pretense. You are pretending God is hearing you and God is answering you. God has not answered any prayers under the sun. There's no one that can tell me God answered his prayer. That person must be lying, and that person must be ready to defend that lie with lies. God does not answer any prayers. God does not answer any prayer in your family. God does not answer any prayer in your life or in your affairs. God cannot answer any prayers. Stop believing the nonsense they're teaching you. Look at the story of the Garden of Eden and judge that God. You are too afraid to judge that God. That is your problem. Why you say God created in his own image? If God created in his own image, why are you afraid? You're not supposed to be afraid unless you're saying that God is afraid. And for you to say you are a sinner, when you say God created in his own image, in other words, God can sin. That's what you mean. If serpent deceived Eve, Adam and Eve, or especially Adam, that God created his own image, then devil can deceive God too. That's why he deceived God in the Bible, in the heaven, right? He deceived God. God did not know when devil was planning to overthrow him, but one day he found out, oh, this guy, you're about to overthrow me. Angel Michael, Angel Gabriel, come on, Michael, come defend me. God could not even defend himself in heaven. All the angels have to come and fight against Satan, Lucifer. But it has been Lucifer. You said God know the end from the beginning. But God didn't know that the Lucifer will one day revolt against him. Because Lucifer saw that this God is wicked. This God ran the whole world. This God has been killing people. This God lied to the man he made. He said, the day you eat this fruit, you will die. Why? Instead of telling them the truth, that the day you eat this fruit, you will be like me. And they are created in my own image. So the Lucifer say, you know what? Let me help these people. Let me expose this God. Let me overthrow this God. Then God has to call his angels, because he's old, and he's ancient of days, so he's old man. So the angels, strong young men, came and fought for him. They could not defeat the devil. They just drive him away, because the fight would have got. They just drove him away. Say, get out. And they drove me away, but they did not take the key of heaven from Satan. They did not take the key of heaven from Lucifer. Because they say in the book of Job, anytime God and his sons gathered, Satan will come there. Satan is welcome. Oh, come on, my people, wake up, man, so that your eyes and your ears will open, and your brain will begin to give you all the information. Your brain is greater than all the computers in the world put together. You don't know the power you have, that's why you have God. You don't know the power you have, that's why you have a man of God. You don't know the power you have, that's why you have a spiritual father or spiritual nonsense, whatever you call it. God is not there. God was not there in the Garden of Eden, and you think he will be there in your house when armed robbers come? No. You think he will be there in your house when those people come to take what belongs to you? No. Or when they come to kill you, he will not be there. You are the one that will guard your life. Which, you know, all those of you that believe in God, you are hypocrites. Because you say you believe in God, that God watches over you, but your house, you put burglary proofs. You put iron burglary proofs so that thieves, criminals will not come in. What is the work of your God? And you lock yourself in that place and you'll be clapping. We are gathering together unto thee. You gather unto him and you lock up all your place for bad people not to come in. You hear the shot of gun down the street. You check your key. You tell your people, your children, take cover, take cover. Shh, turn off the light, turn off the light. So they don't know you are here. Hypocrisy. Let us wake up, my people. That God was not in the Garden of Eden, and it's not in your church, it's not in your mountain, it's not in your camp, it's not in your temple, it's not in your mosque, it's not in your synagogue, it's not in your shrine, it's not in anything you build in his name, because that God does not exist. You exist, I exist, we are gods and goddesses, and we can do the impossible. Another example. In the time of famine in Israel, that shows you that God is not always there. If the God of Israel is always with his people, he said we watch over them, right? Where was God when famine came? Now you don't tell me it is sin that caused famine. He said they sin because if sin can make God not to respond to his children, not to protect his children, then that God is not worth to be called God. That God is not worth to be called love. That God is not worth to be called omnipotent. That God is lesser than sin. Anything that overcomes you is over you. Anything that makes God not to act is over God. It's more powerful than that God. Tell me what will make me not to take care of my daughter when my daughter is around, unless they hold me under gunpoint. Say, if you move now, we shoot you. But if I'm there and battling want to happen, they say if I move, it will be over my dead body. They do that. I will go, then let them shoot, I die, right? Then they do whatever, but not under my watch. A human being can do that. You have heard a lot of stories of heroes, human beings that dive in to save their fellow human beings. But you are God. That God will never be there when something happens. But after you survive like accident, after you survive battle, you say it was by the grace of God. No, God would have prevented it if it was by his grace. Why is the grace of your God always come after you have suffered disgrace? If the grace of God is always there, you don't need to suffer disgrace. You don't need to suffer lack and want. You don't need to suffer like other people. Let's say you are a Christian, your God is better than Allah. So why are you suffering like the Muslims? Where was your God, or where is your God when Muslims come to kill you? The Fulani herdsmen in Nigeria are killing Christians. Where is their God? The Boko Harams blasting Christians in Nigeria. Then their God is not there. But these same people will tell you, God of Oyedepo, God of Adeboye, God of this one, God of the choosing, God of that. And these people keep dying. I hate religion. Religion is wicked, just as God is wicked. It takes a wicked father to relax and watch people rape his daughter. And he said, don't worry, I will reward you after you die. I will deal with these people in hellfire. Don't you see how religion destroys your ability to reason, ability to think for yourself? There was famine. Let me read it. In Book of Ruth. Since yesterday, I've been rooted in my ancestors talking about Ruth. I discovered this yesterday about in the Book of Ruth, and I think I'll be keep preaching from it, because a lot of stuff there. I will keep talking from it. A lot of stuff there. It opens my eyes to see that Africans, we are just like Ruth today. Africans abandon their own culture and whatever they have for what other people have. They want to be like other people. They have their gods. So look in Ruth chapter 1, Ruth or Luke, whatever, all of them are the same bullshit. All right. He said, before Israel was ruled by kings, Elimelech from the clan of Ephraim, Ephrath, lived in the town of Bethlehem. His wife was named Naomi, and their two sons were Mahlon and Chilion. But when their crops failed in Israel, showing that God failed them, whatever reason it is. My God never failed me. No, you are lying. When NEPA take light, it shows your God fails you, because your God cannot make NEPA people to keep light 24/7. When that mosquito suck your blood and give you malaria, your God fail you, because your God cannot prevent that. There are many failures about God, your God around you, but you keep suffering and denying. Fela call it suffering and smiling, but no, it have graduated to suffering and denying. You see somebody that is macheted out of hunger. You see somebody that has suffered malaria out of mosquito bite, or out of the weather or whatever. That person said, my God has not failed me. Somebody struggled from Monday to Saturday to make ends meet. Then on Sunday, he gives them testimony. God has been faithful to me. If God has been faithful to you, you won't be struggling the way you struggle. When crop fell in Israel, that was famine. He said they moved to the country of Moab. He moved. Famine eliminated Elimelech from Israel, and he moved to Moab. As harsh condition has been eliminating many Africans from Africa to America, from Africa to Europe, from Africa to Asia. Our land is not conducive for us anymore. We are having famine. Not famine of the word of any silly God. Famine of social amenities. Things that we're supposed to have as a people. Although we have rich land, yet we are impoverished in our own land. And you will still have the mouth to say, I have a God. God of Israel is my God. God of this, God of that. Fuck that God in the ass when you see that God. Famine proved that God was not there. If God was there to help them, the man would have not moved to Moab. Moab was not having famine. Israel was having. Moab was not God's own nation or the chosen people of God. Why is it always the people that call themselves the chosen people of God that suffer more in this world? But the people that know themselves, they are not suffering. They are solving their problems. The people that claim to have God, let us pray. Let us pray. God will do this. God will do that. The God that have not done anything for your family or in your family, although your family make believe it is God that has been keeping them alive. Stupid. The God that can keep you alive, but they cannot provide all you need, is dead, is useless. Famine stopped God. This man has to move. He was a wise man, and that was a wise move. But I think tomorrow morning I will speak on eliminated Elimelech. I will speak on that. God is not in Israel. I have shown you in this. In Garden of Eden, God was not there. In Israel, when the judges, before they had kings, when the judges ruled, there was famine. God was not there to give them rain, to enrich their crops. God was not there. The man has to live with his family out of that land. And you tell me you are an Israelite now. You are a Jew now. You are seed of Abraham now. You are a child of Abraham in Christ Jesus now. That God is not there. You become a cut-off branch. Africans who claim to be Christians, Africans who claim to be Muslims, Africans who claim to be Jews, they are cut off branches. They were cut off from their tree, from their own family, from their own root. They were now grafted into another people's tree, another people's culture, another people's everything, according to Romans chapter 11. And I'll be speaking also from that. I've been speaking of Africans are ruthless since they become Christians, since they became Christians, since they became Jews, since they became Muslims. They become ruthless. That's why the whole world are doing exploit except Africa. And you say, what is the problem? The problem is not far-fetched. The same thing that happened to our ancestors is still happening to us today as a people. African spirituality with blind hospitality caused our ancestors their glorious power and glorious heritage. The same way foreign religions with blind faith is causing the present day Africans from their glorious restoration and heritage. Recovery. To restore their power and recover their heritage. Foreign religions with blind faith is keeping Africans down. Even when you talk about waking up, they come against you. They say, no way. When you talk about the atrocities of white men to Africans, they tell you you are your own brothers. Say you are separating yourself. Of course, you have to separate yourself. Separating yourself doesn't mean you don't have to love others. But be yourself first. Can you go to their land as they are coming to your land? No. They did not come to your land with any visa or passport. But today you have to go to their land with visa and passport, and you know what you went through to be there. God of Israel is useless. And when you believe in that God, you become useless also. The God of Abraham, you that believe in that God of Abraham, see how useless your life have been, and you are living a fake life. When you do something that prospers or succeeded, or your effort that yield good fruit, then you say it is God. But when you do something that failed, you say it is Satan. Have you seen God? Have you seen Satan? The God of Israel is useless to you, Africans. It's time you wake up. See another silly thing in the Bible. He said, when a rapist is caught, the rapist should be killed. The question is this: where was God during the rape? When that man was raping that woman, where was God? God was not there, but God gave you a law to kill a man for raping a woman. Then what is the essence of having that God in the first place? Why can't God, stop that rape? Why can't God fix that rapist? But God asks you to kill the rapist. The God that gives you law to kill people or punish people, why can't that God fix the people? God is not there. God was never there, and God cannot be there. It is time you wake up, my people, and begin to live in reality and not in religion, not in faith, not in fear, not in belief. In the time of robbery, where was God? God said you should kill somebody or punish somebody for stealing. Where was God when they stole? It is human being that found out they stole, and it's human being that punished them. But the people that hear voices, strange voices, begin to tell you it is God telling them what to do. You don't need God to tell you whatever to do. You need to use your brain and do what you're supposed to do. In your times of personal needs, where was God, or where is God? In your time of family need, where is God? You may brag on Facebook and talk nonsense against me, defending your God. But this week or next week or this month or this year, when that family problem arises, remember my words, and also my voice will be ringing in your head. Where is God? Are you bold enough to ask yourself, where is God? When that person is sick in your family and they're running around for money for his treatment in the hospital, where is the power of your God? Where is that God? God is never there. Your family problem is proof that God is not there. Your personal problem is proof that God is not there. Oh, God is in me. Ordinary headache, you go for Pempio. God is with me. What are you doing in the hospital? God is with me. What are you doing in the doctor's office? God is with me. What are you doing in the chemist? God is with me. What are you doing in the pharmacy? Where is your God? God is not there. Stop pretending like that God is there. I want to close with this. God is not omnipotent. God is not omniscient. God is not omnipresent. God is non-existent. I want you to know this. Please, right deep in your heart, that gods and goddesses, they exist, men and women, and they can do the impossible when they come together. It is very, very important that you know yourself, not believing in imaginary God. Imaginary God is useless to you and to your generation. Trash that God and live well. And this is what I want to share with you. Think about it. Stop being a cut-off branch. Go back to your tree. Go back to your root. Your family is your tree. Your roots are your ancestors. It's time you go back to your family and to your ancestors. And together, all of you will begin to live well. If your families will come together and begin to plan well, stop being misers or stop being leech. Just begin to live as a people, begin to plan and begin to have love among themselves, your kinsmen, your people. You see how naturally all those problems among us will begin to die, and we bury them with factual truth, and they cannot stop our sources. Think about it. God is not there. You are the one that is believing that is there, but is not there. You are there. Your family members are there. Your friends are there. They can help you in time of need. No God can do that. Stop wasting your time and your money in churches, in prayers, in temples or any religion. Begin to live as human being. You were not born with any temple. Why are you building one? You were not born with any temple. Why are you attending one? You were not born with any knowledge of God. Why are you believing one? It is time you know who you are and begin to live humanly. Peace.